Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to fully review here the HELLVERINE, obviously being that first member of the ACCURSED team. I missed this during my vacation break, so that's why I wanted to at least go through his kit details, what we can preemptively upgrade if you are planning to bring this character up into Cosmic Crucible. And remember, he's part of the Chapter 1 Harbinger events and whatnot, so obviously they can have value for some of the content because recently they've been designing all the new content around these new characters, right? So just something to be on the watch out for. Having said that, I mean, I know the obviously the newest 4 nodes relating to the negative zone also have Cosmic Crucible bonuses. So if you have this team built up, they're going to provide value there. But yeah, to be honest, we know that there's a strong possibility of an arena team already around the corner. So that's why I'm hesitant right now. But yeah, completely up to you guys if you want to put some investment into there. Remember, his orbs are available still. They usually have been maintaining this now for quite some time, but you can actually get it through this Infernal Claws orb, which typically costs 675 power cores per orb, minimum 6 shards, and that chance for a jackpot, if you will. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead, let's get started and take a look at his kit. If you're planning to build him up, what kind of potential T4 upgrades make the most sense for him, and what ISO-8 is going to make the most sense given him in that brawler position here. So Hellfire Claws basic ability, attacking primary target for piercing damage, which is very, obviously accurate to the sense that he is a Wolverine variant. Obviously, they're going to have some piercing capabilities here, and with him being a Cosmic Crucible team, he should be getting some more notable damage because of that advantage there. So piercing damage does go up. He has a chance to actually apply defense down to primary targets, and if the primary target does have exposure, he also applies it for 2 turns instead. So you really want to be using this attack then if there's an exposed enemy that you're up against. There's a chance for defense down as well every time that it does actually add up. So it's always going to apply essentially with the T4 upgrade there. So that's kind of what you're getting. Additional piercing damage obviously is expected, but to guarantee the defense down, you're going to be getting the upgrade here. So this is actually not a bad upgrade. It's definitely more luxurious. I would first recommend taking a look at the special, ultimate, and passive before making that decision, especially if you have some limited T4 ability materials to utilize here. But this definitely would be something on the horizon if you are planning to bring this character up, because that ensures that defense down and obviously maximizing damage output on this character. Infernal Pursuit, attacking the primary target for percentage damage. In addition to applying defense down, again, there's a chance, it's not guaranteed, so I suspect that's going to increase as we level this up, chaining to 4 adjacent targets, and as well, once again, with that chance of defense down. Now, counterattack does break this chain, so you just want to be mindful of characters that have that kind of mechanic in their kit. And if any character has exposed, instead, attack all enemies for 100% piercing, 25% chance to apply defense down once again for 2 turns. So you really want to be using HELLVERINE for any kind of teams that actually have some sort of exposure, that, synergizing those exposure casting allies as well, right? Again, chance increases the 25% primary and secondary targets, piercing damage and whatnot. Always applying defense down here on level 6. So, I mean, this is even without the exposure mechanic being provided. And then finally, if any target does have exposure, he's going to be attacking the primary target for 10% of the max HP. So this is massive, guys. He really does shine against these exposed enemies. This is a very, very strong upgrade. I would highly recommend it because 10% of HP, we're talking about a different kind of attack now, because it's no longer piercing and damage driven with the armor calculation. It's going to be based on whatever the max HP is. Very, very strong special right here, especially if you're up against someone with exposure. Demon Fire ultimate ability. If any target has exposure, he's going to be attacking a random target with exposed for 5% of max HP, so already off to a great start, and then dealing an additional 100% piercing. Enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived, and this attack also cannot be dodged, blocked, or counterattacked. So piercing damage does increase as a result. Defense down as well being applied to primary and secondary targets. And as well, this actually inflicts trauma on the primary and secondary targets. In Crucible, disruption and offense down is going to be applied to hero characters. All hero characters, not just a specific one. And then as well, reducing the speed bar for all mutant villain enemies by 30%. We have an ability block that's also going to get cast, especially if you have 3 or more of these cursed allies on your team. And then finally, icing on the cake here, additional piercing damage to all enemies if there's exposure, flipping positives into negatives. And once again, this is just going to absolutely wreck a team. Huge ultimate ability here. And again, really shines when there's that exposed enemy. So you really want to be placing that as soon as possible and then inflicting the ultimate and then following that up with a special. That's going to absolutely wreak havoc on any kind of opposing team, especially in Cosmic Crucible, where additional disruption, offense down, reduction in speed bar, oh my goodness, like the list goes on and on if you're using this character and his abilities in Cosmic Crucible. So special and the ultimate, definitely get them upgraded because it makes HELLVERINE shine. Hell Reborn passive ability. On spawn in any turn, if no enemy has exposure, apply exposure to the most injured enemy. Absolutely beautiful, guys. So this right here is kind of what I was looking for to make the sauce work for his kit on spawn. So when everybody just loads up into the team and on any turn, if no enemy has exposure, he's gonna do it to the most injured enemy. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting if there's if no one's injured. Does that mean that it just applies to the lowest HP? That's going to be interesting to kind of take a look at how that works. But, or if you guys know, please drop that in the comments below. But amazing passive. On turn, if there's 2 or more enemies that are exposed, remove exposure from all enemies. So definitely got to be careful with this because, you know, the moment that there's actually going to be 2 or more, it actually does reset. So you really got to make sure you take advantage of this right from the get-go with his passive spawn ability and then using his abilities. On any turn, if any enemy minion has exposure, he's going to be attacking that for piercing damage as well. This cannot be dodged or blocked. So it's an additional strike for no turn even needed. Absolutely beautiful. If 2 or more enemies are exposed, he's also going to be healing himself for 25%. So nice little kind of passive support there being tied into his kit. And then while any enemy that has exposure, he also cannot have their speed bar getting reduced. So that's really notable, guys. This character, I mean, sorry. So HELLVERINE won't actually be impacted by any kind of speed reduction there. And then as well, lastly, if you are to T4 his passive, in Crucible only though, if he has the 3 or more accursed allies, enemies cannot gain defense up or death proof. So once again, he's intended to be that damaging role and providing that additional DPS on the team, but he's giving some support here, which is very notable. Obviously the heal is nice. Enemies not being able to have that defense up and death proof as well, really wrecking havoc on enemy team, guys. To be kind of honest, there's 2 potential ISO-8s that I can see being very obvious for him, with more notably all of the different abilities that he's tacking on, and many of them having piercing capabilities. ISO-8 Raider is probably going to make the most sense from the get-go, just because he's doing a lot of damage across the board. The Raider ISO-8 is going to allow him to crit, add some additional crit chance as well. In addition to that, more potency for the damage output to maximize. Having said that, that's probably what I would go with if I were to build him up first. Another option is also utilizing him as a striker, because with his basic ability, casting defense down, well, I mean, you can say that about all his abilities, but he's going to be doing some additional strikes with the notable piercing chance, as well as applying defense down. So I think Raider ISO-8 is probably the best one to start with, but if you have a lot of you know, vulnerable casting allies already on this accursed team, a striker wouldn't hurt as well to take advantage of some additional damage strikes from his synergies here. So that hopefully it is in a nutshell, guys. This is helpful for you building him up if you are planning to build him up, but really cool character overall. And glad to see his addition in the game as well. Let me know what you think in comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.